And welcome back to week 4 in the NACE competition. I am your caster, Dirk,
And I'm your other caster, Noah.
and this is an exciting time for Overwatch.
Insane time for Overwatch.
Super insane. Right now, we are experiencing a historical moment in the esports scene for Overwatch where they're introducing Season 15 and a ton of new, all
Everything.
sorts of stuff.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are basically completely rehauling.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Rehauling Overwatch. I'm really surprised they're not calling it Overwatch 3 with how much new stuff they're bringing in.
Right? One of the biggest things that we get to see is the coming forth of perks, and that is the big name. That is the big word of the day.
Yeah.
Word on the street is perks. Um, it's going to upset what we've seen in competitive play and completely revolutionize how the game is played, as far as how heroes progress and how each player is going to be able to upset each game in how these perks are laid out. And we just got word that we will see perks played today. Both teams have agreed, kind of a gentleman's agreement, to turn on perks, so we get to see it kind of early.
So, for those of you who might not know what we're talking about, if anyone's familiar with the game Apex Legends, so it's basically a system where the more damage, the more healing, the more kills you get, it basically you fill a bucket into your own character, and once this bucket is at a certain level, you get an option. So, for example, if you're playing Ashe and you do a certain amount of damage, kills, um, then you get an option with a minor perk. So these two perks would be either rapid fire, which it would be unscoped shots gain 30% increased attack speed, but deal 15% less damage, or on the other option, sidewinder, where the coach gun pushes Ashe and other enemies 20% further. So these perks, it allows the game to be played a little bit more individually, and however the player likes to play, they can form their character around that.
Yeah, and if we just wanted to throw in another example of in there, Junker Queen. Her minor perks include rendering recall, which means recalling her jagged blade from a struck target refreshes its wounds. And then the other option is Battle Scout, or Battle Shout, excuse me, which does commanding shout fully reloads scattergun and increases allied reload speed by 50%. And then two of her major perks is Deep Wounds. Scattergun hits extend your wound duration on those enemies by a quarter second. And then there's Savage Satiation.
Yeah,
That's
kind
a
of.
hard word for me.
Yeah.
Carnage's impact damage gains 100% lifesteal. So these are just a few examples of what we might be able to see in today's match. Junker Queen and Ashe are very popular picks for ISU, so we'll probably get to see those amongst all the rest of the plethora
Yeah.
of heroes they get to choose from. So one thing that I kind of thought when they introduced this was how they're raising Overwatch to be a more sophisticated game in the process. Think of League of Legends. There's like over 200 champions you can play, with like 75 different item sets that they can purchase from, which basically, if you do the math, is like quadrillions, like the numbers in the quadrillions of the combination of games you can have. Overwatch, having different game modes and different maps, kind of has a lot of combination in of itself, but adding these perks greatly brings up the competitive nature and the strategic nature that our players can actually, choose and have like an authority of how the game is played.
Yeah. One other thing too that I think is pretty cool that they did add is that these perks they don't carry over. So once you choose a character and you play them, if you switch off, it completely resets your perk set. This, amongst a bunch of other things, is just one of the many things that is new that I'm sure we'll get to talk about more at breaks during this game. But in the meantime,
Let's do it. Well, right off the bat, we are going to be able to see Zareth. We haven't seen Lemonade. Lemonade is going for the Cassidy, even though Ashe has been unbanned in the NAS tournament. we'll probably see her use that more and more during the Big Sky excuse me, the NACE tournaments. Ashe has been unbanned, so we'll probably be seeing her being picked by Lemonade more often, but she will go with the Cassidy this time.
Oh, interesting pick by the Comets, opting to go for a Ball Lucio and Genji.
Yeah.
He probably going for a dive.
Yeah, we'll see what I'm gonna call him Kashikin. See if he's kind of, oh yeah, he's definitely gonna be kind of an upsetter here. Just kind of rolling in, rolling out, just making it difficult for them to plant their feet.
Both teams do trade support picks and also trade. Aberpillow does end up going down, but Lemonade is able to secure a support in the meantime.
Looks like both teams are able to get 2 picks right off the bat. Unfortunately, Xerath does finally go down, leaving the spot open for University of Texas.
At Dallas.
Of Dallas.
There we go. So be curious to see as the match progresses, you know, some more of these perks coming into play.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot the perks are on. Like we should see
we should
some
see
interesting
a
stuff.
lot more impact and a lot more. We should see the game being played a lot differently.
Right now, Bacon and Cakes has Lucio, so one thing we can probably see from Lucio is his boop ability has increased about 15%. So that means pushing people farther more often.
Bacon and Cake does end up getting his head taken off. They should still be able to control this point. Diane does unfortunately go down.
Kiriko also takes out both Lemonade and Xerath, or Kashikan, excuse me. And it looks like Average Pillow will be the last one standing, and the contested zone will remain with Dallas. Can I just call him Dallas?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. Either Dallas or the Comet.
The Comets.
Yeah.
I can call them Comets. Yeah. So University of Idaho is regrouping as Dallas Comets decide to take up a high ground and make it kind of hard for them. Oh, looks like the Wrecking Ball is coming in hot and heavy to disrupt any plans that they might have had, and it looks like
They do end up giving up the point though with that push. So Average Pillow was able to sneak behind all of that onslaught on the rest of.
What a sneaky devil.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Was able to secure a sneaky little 10%, which honestly that honestly helped them a lot because that push that the Bengals got stalled at, it wasn't too costly point-wise.
Yeah.
So everybody is now trading also. Lemonade trying to secure a couple picks, but does not end up getting that kill.
Unfortunately, I don't think she was in a great place to really utilize that ultimate to either make them run for the hills or even get a few kills. But Average Pillow doing a lot of diving to stay alive. And first point will go over to Dallas Comets.
So yeah, I would like to see maybe Lemonade, as we've seen in the past, Lemonade has an excellent Sojourn. I would like to see her maybe swap over to the Sojourn or play a hero who has a little bit more mobility, you know, because the Comets, they are running a very, very mobility heavy comp.
Yeah.
With the Ball, with the Lucio, with the Genji, like people are moving and they're moving a lot.
Yeah, she was definitely looking to use the Cassidy in those crucial moments where the zone is contested and she needed to have a little bit of crowd control.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she didn't really get that opportunity with it, so maybe we will see, and she has switched just like you wanted. Maybe we will see that change up and more kills in her pocket.
This should prove, in my opinion, a little bit more useful than the Cassidy.
And right off the bat, this time Idaho State is taking more of a stand in the offensive
Bacon and Cake
region.
does end up getting a pick, but Xerath is able to secure another pick on their support. Average Pillow does try to make a little bit of space, but overextends maybe a tad bit. We are down one support right off the rip.
Now ISU is going to have to back off just a bit, giving up the zone initially. We'll see if they want.
They're trying to get a kill on the Kiriko. Unfortunately, TP's away at the last second.
Let's see if he goes
Almost
for
oversecured.
chase. He's like, I want that kill. I want blood.
ISU does secure the point first.
Average Bill was able to actually stand on while everyone else was occupied, putting ISU in the lead, and now it is Dallas Comet's turn to go on the offensive. Average Pillow putting up a front, making it kind of hard for these initial players to make a stand.
Doing very
But he is
almost ends up getting picked.
survives just barely.
Kitsune Rush does come out for both teams. Average Pillow does end up going down with that first initial pick. So does Diane. And the rest of the team will unfortunately end up falling.
Now I see Torbjorn's turret right there, and I just remembered something about Torbjorn that's changed. One of his main perks that's allotted to him is to be able to throw those on walls and ceilings.
Is it really?
So he has more options of angles, just making it a little bit more confusing or interesting for the team to deal with, the opposite team. So, but I don't know if he'll choose that one, but we'll see. We'll see if we can see some turrets on the walls or ceilings today.
So Average Pillow does switch off Malga. Does choose Queen. Bit of a downside to that is that they do lose their perk progression.
Oh yeah.
So they are a bit of a disadvantage when going against the other Queen, because since they've been playing them for this entire match, they've built up their perks.
Yeah, with this kind of accountability when it comes to perks, it puts you a lot of power in your station, but unfortunately, that accountability is accountability. So you have to accept the drawbacks as well when you need to make those hero changes.
The Comets are taking a very, very, very strong stance, trying to stop the Bengals from
Looks like they really
even touching. Playing extremely aggressive. Average Pillow does end up getting a kill. Very nice. Zeref does end up getting picked. Yes, the team had to back up just a little bit due to the blade.
I think ISU did really well with that little sneak attack. Managed to disrupt, even though Eric did come out with the Genji blade. He did go down without too much damage to ISU.
He more or less just created space, and the Comets were not able to capitalize off of that space. Very nice kill for Lemonade.
Lemonade just
cleaning
fantastic.
it up. Baking the cake with the far-range kill. Very nice staggers for the Bengals. Should prevent them from full pushing for a little bit longer.
We'll see if they go for the bottleneck method, or if they're going to allow them to really contest this out. Looks like economy-wise, Lemonade and Diane. Diane does come out with Kiriko Rush to bring out any advantages that they can get. We'll probably see a Kiriko Rush coming here pretty here.
Portal being popped.
Fortunately, Average Pillow does go down from Eric.
This ends now.
Lemonade popping her out, trying to get something. Very nice shot by Lemonade. Trying to get maybe a couple more.
Now Lemonade is going to try to disrupt, but
Trying to
touch.
Does end up sending to overtime, but it will. Wow, what very, very nice touch by Average Pillow. Does not last very long, but.
And unfortunately, it doesn't look like there is going to be enough time to get any more touches, and that point will go over to Texas of Dallas.
That will be map 1.
Play of the game.
Yeah. Good plays all around. I think what we saw was definitely a better front compared to the first game for ISU. Unfortunately, there was just a little bit, I don't know, the dice rolled better in Texas's favor.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I did notice, and I didn't previously think about it until watching this, is that counter picking is gonna be more devastating for the team that has to switch.
Yeah.
Because if you have a team comp that is completely rolling the other team, and they're able to, especially with these perks, and they're able to keep up their perks, and they won't have to switch off to different heroes to counter these people, they're gonna be stronger than say like what we just saw right now, where Lemonade having to switch off of Cassidy going to Sojourn because she needed a more movement based character.
Yeah.
So it does put them at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to having a counter pick because they lose the perk.
Yeah. And let's not forget that also in the near future, we're also going to be seeing a new feature in the game space of bans.
Yeah.
So on top of counter picks, we will see players banning, voting to ban certain players or certain heroes. So that's just going to make it even more dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So looks like the next map has been chosen. We are going to King's Row. All-time favorite. We also just heard that it sounds like Lemonade
And
Bacon and Cakes are going to be switching roles. Lemonade will be going to the healer. Bacon and Cakes will be going to DPS. We actually don't see that a lot. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I've never seen that.
So this should be interesting. So apparently Lemonade last season was mostly doing support, and the team decided to put her in the DPS for this season. It looks like she's going to go back to being support for this game, and yeah. Honestly, I'll admit I don't remember a lot, most because I was new, learning names. It was hard to but at this point, yeah, it's a good story. I like it.
You know, one of the other things that they are adding to the game along with hero bans is map vote.
Yeah, that's right.
So instead of loading to a game and you get Route 66 and you want to just cry yourself to sleep, you get to vote on a map.
Yeah, and I wonder how much it's really going to affect the game, because push maps are push maps.
That is
but
true.
There's definitely different aspects that make each map special, and one player might want one map over another. So we're borrowing a lot from Rainbow Six in that matter of where not exactly the map, but where you start in that map really determines your strategy.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, it looks like Idaho's. Oh, these might be swapped. We'll get these fixed shortly. But on your left side is Idaho State. Lemonade, like we said, is going to the healer support position, while not average pillow, Bacon and Cakes picks up the DPS.
Honestly, I don't really foresee that big of a difference, especially with Lemonade playing a hero such as Juno. Juno is very similar to Ana in a sense where it's very easy to switch between damage and heal. So I think it's a pretty smart switch to have Lemonade swap over to healer. And a Reinhardt to start off the match for the Comets. Absolutely love to see it. Zareth with a very nice kill.
Yeah, that's great. And
Zareth
wow,
does end up going down.
that was huge DPS right there. Looks like
Both teams are even when it comes to trades, but the Comets do end up getting their player back first due to spawn.
yeah, and right now it just looks like ISU is taking a step back, but they're coming up a little bit. Lemonade is definitely trying to provide pressure, but Texas of Dallas are slowly progressing their contested zone, and it looks like they are going to secure it. Idaho State have to pull back.
Be curious to see how the Comets decide to hold this long stretch of push. I mean, as we've seen in the past, teams opt to play differently. Some all stay on the cart. Some like to play the choke, where the point ends up meeting.
And we're definitely gonna see a little bit of choke action here. Not too strange for this game, for this map.
Bacon and Cake trying to get entry pick for the Bengals. Playing very aggressive.
Yeah.
Kashrikon, I believe is how to say their name.
Yeah. Yeah, Idaho State just having to play very defensively when they should be playing, or playing offensively when they want to be playing defensively. Man, I am tripping on my words right now.
Average Pillow does get a pick. Shatter does end up getting Diane. Will get dove by Eric and get picked. But overall, the team fight should still fight on. ISU does end up securing the point, despite the Comets using Shatter and picking one of our supports.
So ISU looking like they got really good ultimate economy, and they're going to try to keep this corner.
I would imagine this fight will be the favorite fight in the game is the Q fight. Everybody pressing the same button.
A little bit of entry and exit denial happening. He was able to counter. Average Pellet coming out hot.
Instantly countered by the Zen.
He is left a little extended and left all alone, and will go down because of it.
So I do like that Queen ult from Average Pello. Because even with Zenyatta Trans, due to them being antied, they are still able to try to get a kill with it, but it's just they did overextend themselves a little bit too much, and the team was just not able to save them.
Yeah, this Reinhardt is actually working wonders in favor of Texas of Dallas. Idaho State is having quite a hard time dealing
Applying
with
lots of pressure though, and it's able
to go down. Diane
to
able to get the pick with the assist from Average Pillow.
Yep.
Now, if only ISU can just get up there and get these people out. Looks like
Goes
Diane
in.
is trying to get them off.
Trying to force them off the height.
But yeah, they're getting peppered from every direction. A lot to think about. Average Pillow does manage to get a pick. Yoni also does. Here comes.
Oh, Diane successfully evades Eric's Genji Blade. That was a clinic when it comes to not dying by Diane.
Yeah. Couple of picks for ISU, forcing the Texas of Dallas to pull back just a little bit, giving ISU a little bit of breathing room to recoup. But it's going to be this final corner that they're going to have to control here, while Reinhardt kind of comes and puts on the pressure once again.
They do end up completely backing out from Diane's ult though.
Reinhardt does manage to get some stuns off, unfortunately.
He's very, 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 Average Pillow is very, very well carried by the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Able to back out and stay alive.
It looks like this is the final stretch. They have just under 3 minutes left and just meters to go.
Bacon and Cake with a very nice kill on the enemy team Sojourn.
ISU doing a really good job at holding this, even though the Reinhardt is being kind of a stake in the road. But Texas is doing really good at these peels.
Texas does not have very many ults going into this next fight. I would hope that the Bengals will try to hold on to their ults as long as possible.
And the orbital raid does come up from Lemonade. Diane, or Average Pillow, is probably ready for the offensive to get some picks underway. And we are just, yeah, they have hold this corner for a full minute, which is pretty big. And here comes
Insane
final push. Bacon and Cake does manage to stay alive from her teammates.
Trying to get a couple more picks, does end up getting headshotted, but Average Pillow is able to secure a trade.
And Average
And
Pillow
another
and
one.
Diane are still holding on to these ultimates.
Very, very nice stop for the Bengals. That could have been it.
That could have been
With
but
that
it
entry-
wasn't. That
with
was
that entry
That
point.
was phenomenal teamwork, keeping everyone alive, everyone functional. Even though Bacon and Cakes did manage to go down, he was able to get his ultimate off, leaving Average Pillow and Diane to leave their ultimates up. Zareth has his ultimate now, and he will be using
popping it.
He's going to try
Does
to get
end up
this
getting a kill.
tank. He does get it.
trying to secure another one. Does end up deflecting and getting it.
Manages to go down, but taking so much with him. Diane did pop off her ultimate. Average Pillow still holding on to his. Now it is down to just 1 more minute. Can ISU keep this corner?
Now this will be probably the hardest fight of the game.
This will be the
comments
break here.
The comments do have a lot of their ults. I expect to see a shatter from the comments Reinhardt. Excuse me, I don't know how to say their name.
Fortunately, Eric does have his ultimate. So does Kirschken.
Time for the reckoning.
Average Pillow does opt to pop their ult first.
Lemonade following suit. Unfortunately, Diane does go down from Eric. Eric does pop his ult. Maybe that is good to keep the economy on ISU's side. This is the final push, and they are going.
Making a cake. Does end up freezing 3. Does unfortunately go down.
Goes down. Not enough time to make the touch.
Diana is able to touch, but not for very long.
Oh, that was great. That was a good last stand. And look, 5 seconds. They brought him down to 5 seconds, which I did not think was going to happen. I thought it was going to be 1 or 2 seconds left on the clock, but they were able to keep that, bring that all the way down to 5, which is huge for them, giving them a lot more leeway for this next push for ISU.
That was a very, very nice hold by the Bengals.
Really good.
I think they played that extremely well. They used their ults in a very, very, very responsible way. That's the word I'm looking for. I think just the trading of ults and just knowing what they have and what we have to counter them, I think they did an excellent job at it, and that shows by how much time they have left.
I agree. 100%. Now the compositions are going to be switching up, looks like, just a little bit. One thing I'll mention right now is I have not actually been able to notice any of these perks happening. And maybe they are going to be more of a subtle thing, something that we can't actually, or will be difficult for us to point out. Like, oh, there's this person took that little minor perk, this person took that major perk. I haven't been able to see, but maybe that's just because these are new. We don't know what we're looking for.
But one thing that I will be curious to see, Cash Recon, if they do decide to play the Orisa for the rest of the game, one of Orisa's perks is with every headshot, the cooldown on her weapon goes down. So theoretically, if you hit lots of headshots, you could be shooting forever.
Orisa, does she overheat?
Yeah.
And
Orisa's gun does overheat.
So is it those headshots that cool her down?
Her down.
Okay,
Correct.
gotcha. Right off the bat, pretty strong offensive, bringing a lot of damage in ISU's pockets. Zaref, unfortunately gets picked out and kind of teased, or not teased, bullied there.
That was a nice anti-nade from Hermosa.
ISU will unfortunately go down to a team wipe. So, luckily, no staggering happened. They got plenty of time to make things happen.
I'm actually really excited to see Lemonade on Ana, especially with Eric being Tracer. I would love to see a flick and a sleep on Eric.
Yeah, Ana was such a technical hero, and Lemonade is a technical player. So this should be fun to watch. Oh, I remember last season. You weren't here for this. I think it was Lemonade who was playing the Ana and managed to get. Oh, forgive me. This was actually Diane playing Ana, where someone on the enemy team was flying through the air and she managed to sleep them right at the perfect time, and it was on this map.
Really?
It was on this map, right at the end of the path, and it was so perfect. There was a little hole at the end of the map, and he just fell right into there while he was asleep, and it was so funny. And at first we didn't even know what happened. We were like, wait, what just happened? But it was hilarious. And it looks like Diane will pop off the Kitsune Rush, but only to go down. Not really providing a lot of traction for her teammates. Lemonade coming out with the
Alapello does get Nano, does end up securing a kill.
One thing with Ana, one of her major perks, I believe. If she nano boosts an ally, she gets nano boost too.
That's crazy.
So that's really good.
And with that nano, they are able to back the Comets up and off the point. Should be able to secure it if they choose not to recontest. Does end up getting slept,
Oh, Average Pello getting slept and kind of beaten down.
but that ends up working out very well for the Bengals because the Comets do use a nano boost to try to touch, but it's just a little bit too late. They do end up just wasting it essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice Suzu from Diane, saving Xerath along with everybody else caught in that result.
Can Xerath get away? No, he goes down. But that was really good. That was a really good play. And ult economy-wise, ICU is looking pretty happy, and fat and happy.
Just
With
like
more to come. Oh, Average Pello getting
very nice anti for Lemonade, allowing Xerath to go absolutely crazy.
is he able to get this last kill? He will not, but
does end up falling.
It does end with the team wipe.
That was all Lemonade. That was all Lemonade. I am very impressed by Lemonade's ante in that situation. It allowed Xerath to just press Q and hold down left click and kill everybody.
Now they opt to stay on the payload, put as many people on the payload as possible to get that little extra distance. Now are they going to play a lot more defensively on these choke points? Eric does go down pretty early on, and maybe they can keep this staggering up and keep this payload moving.
Is that an OG Orisa shield?
Oh, I bet. Looks like Xerath really wants blood.
Time for the reckoning.
Apparently that is one of the major perks for Orisa, is bringing back the OG shield.
Really?
Very nice kills for Xerath.
Man,
would
ISU is
secure
doing
them.
phenomenally right now.
Pretty easily.
Now they got a little more time than Texas of Dallas had at this moment of the game. If they can not, or
If they keep up the pace.
if they can keep up the pace, not let Texas stop them on this little crux, then they're set up to actually win this map.
Yes, they are.
Now Eric is going to come in with his ultimate. Does not get a pick, but does push ISU back out of the hallway just a little bit. Lemonade does go down to Eric though, while Xerath does manage to get a pick himself.
Very good that ISU didn't use any panic ult in that situation. Well, I'd imagine Lemonade's probably saving her nano boost for Xerath. Good old-fashioned nano blade.
But what ISU also wants to be doing is forcing them to do those panic ults and get those ultimates out of the way. They got plenty of time on the clock to be able to work with.
And the Orisa just bunkering down. And that's why they got rid of the shield.
Yeah.
And now they brought it back. Jeez.
Are you mad about that?
Yeah.
Ah.
If any Overwatch devs are listening to me, why? Just why?
I mean, they don't have to use it, but do you think they probably
yeah.
will always use it?
Oh, yeah.
But hey, that's one of the first examples that we can actually see
is
one of
true.
the perks used, and we can recognize it. So that's fun. Bacon and Cakes does go down, unfortunately, leaving ISU a little unmanned at the time. They are going to have to make a pretty strong and heavy push.
They have to get that Orisa out of the bunker in order to push this point.
So is this a meta that we used to see where Orisa would just corner, like pick a corner and just stay there? And
Yeah.
because that's what we're seeing a lot right now. She likes this corner.
Bengals are, I'd imagine, going to have to probably use a good amount of ults to try to break this defense.
Yeah. Which seems to be
Does end up getting Nano Blade, trying to get a couple kills. Does end up securing one. Does unfortunately get slept. Does get Suzu to wake up. Trying to secure one more. Not able to get it, but still. Very, very nice pick for Xerath. Very nice entry for the rest of the Bengals.
does allow the Bengals to make a lot of progress Unfortunately, him able to get put to sleep probably denied him an additional kill.
Very
or two.
nice ult for Average Pello finishing off the Brig. Big Cake able to secure one more following that ult. I'd imagine the Bengals play up a little bit more, try to avoid the Orisa from bunkering down that much.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the Orisa's picking a
Yep.
corner again.
Yep.
Man, I'm starting to not like this meta. They need to get him. They need to take care of him right now.
Bacon and Cake cannot come out of the ice just yet to avoid getting speared.
Just stay alive while he's
Trying to secure on the Orisa is
Oh,
unable to get it.
unfortunately gets taken
close.
out as the Orisa just is cheating. I don't want to say cheating. I want to say like cheating death is what I meant to say.
Well, technically it is cheating because
That's why they got rid of that
yeah.
meta in the first place.
Hey man, we weren't supposed to have this in the tournament, and I don't want to say nothing, but they're the one that asked, and our team felt kind of pressured, peer pressure. We didn't want to say no, so I think they're cheating.
Okay. Peer pressured into
Having perks.
Because right now in the NACE tournament, their official like default ruling is like, no, we're not doing perks for the first like 2 weeks until both teams can like get situated and understand, so that no one's left like kind of
like that.
Where
Clearly, one team has more practice than the other with these perks.
with these perks,
Yeah,
but it's the game,
it is.
and everyone has the same opportunity in the game. Like they could have picked an Orisa,
This is true.
but
Well, either way, that was a very good prime example of the perks
the perks.
and how the perks.
Yeah, a prime example of how it is changing the
Yeah.
game fundamentally. And there's just more to come. There are more perks to be seen and seen. That was just one example of how it can change it. So I'm excited to see
I'm
how.
curious to see how
else we got.
other tanks and other. I feel like the tank's probably the most impactful when it comes to their perks.
You would assume they have to be,
Yeah.
because it's the tank is the ace in the hole. It's the point guard of the whole system, and these new perks you would think would center around that as well.
Yeah, that's very true. So I'm curious to see a bunch of these. Like, I would imagine a lot of these play styles, even though they already revolve around the tank, now they're going to revolve around the tank's perks.
Yeah, and those counter picks to be able to deal with those. So like, if you were faced up with an Orisa who was, I don't know what to call that, corner shielding
Yeah.
like that, basically making you waste resources, what would you choose to like deal with that?
Dealing with that is difficult. I think you deal with it one or two ways. Once, well, as we saw, the Orisa was very much isolated, but was able to get healed by the rest of their team. So you could, as we saw, Xerath and Lemonade, nano blading, you can completely just dive the rest of the team because they're vulnerable.
And that's exactly what we did see. Unfortunately, Xerath did get kind of stopped by the sleep.
The Enforcer did not get all 8 hours, so
Exactly.
did fall asleep on the job.
And that was just good technical gameplay from Texas. But yeah, you kind of need to work around that. If the tank is being a little cheeky, go for their supports. Simple as that.
And our next map will be our choice again, which, as we've seen before many times, being Servasa.
Yeah, this is definitely I want to say a league favorite. That and King's Row.
This is true.
But yeah, we'll see what kind of composition that ISU chooses to pick. They kind of have their favorites. Eric, I'm guessing. Yep, Genji. I just wanted to predict that right there. Going back to like ban picks, we'll be able to see ban picks in the future. So when Eric is only playing Genji and he's a one-trick pony, we might be able to disrupt that in the future a little bit.
Along with banning comes a lot of from what I see, they're trying to make Overwatch a lot. You're trying to make people think a lot more.
Yeah.
Because with banning, you could ban certain heroes if your team is running their counter.
Yeah. And one thing I'm not too sure about is the way that Overwatch historically has done bans is just banning players or allowing bans to only happen to heroes that are picked a lot. And I'm not so sure whether I agree with that. I would say let that choice just be decided by the players themselves and make that just a fundamental chess game that just is a part of the whole game as a system. So I don't know. I like to see that bans are coming, but I may have done it differently. But yeah, ISU does this manage to get their first feet on the ground at the contested zone.
Which, as we've seen in the past, is very good for us.
Yeah, it means ult economies are in ISU's favor.
Doing a very good job just holding the point right now. Bacon and Cake does end up picking the tank. Very nice pick, and immediately headshots the other Tracer. Very nice shots for Bacon and Cake. No wonder why they got this person off Lucio.
Right? I mean, obviously Lemonade is a phenomenal DPS and really precision, scalpel precision at times. But yeah, love to see this from Bacon and Cake to be able to shine and show that he can actually do a lot more for the team than, I mean, I don't want to say you're not doing much as a support or as a healer. You're doing wonders in that role. It's just fun to see this.
Very nice wall for
Textbook.
Bacon and Cake. Eric does end up getting a pick on Xerath. Should be able to die. Does end up getting heavily carried.
Fortunately, Xerath does go down their main tank.
Average Pillow, very nice kill.
But they did a really good job at staggering.
I think they did stagger just enough to where we should be able to secure this point. But does Bacon and Cake and Diane does end up going down. It's up to Average Pillow and Lemonade to try to hold the point off.
It looks like the stagger has gone a little
Average Pillow,
too
very
long.
nice kill. Lemonade also a very nice kill. Average Pillow, tank fight.
And they've managed to get the Doom fixed. And that first point does go over to ISU.
Very, very nice hold for ISU.
I love to see that. And it looks like Average Pillow and Diane will have their ultimates up and ready. Eric and pretty soon Minipan will as well, meaning it's going to be a pretty close matchup in the first couple
Average
fights here.
playing very aggressively. I do like it, trying to create lots of space for his team.
Now it's time to
Would like
go.
to try to see ISU play a little bit more aggressive when it comes to capturing this point first. As we've seen in the past, they do perform the best when it comes to these points when they get on it first.
Eric does use up his ultimate and does manage to take out both Diana and Xerath. He will finally go down. Average Pillow will be able to take him out. And that just opens the door for Xerath and Average Pillow to recontest. Fortunately, there are still just a couple more people on the zone that they're going to have to deal with.
But they do have a tank. They don't.
That's a lot more than them, yeah. Ooh, Lemonade.
Nice
almost
anti,
gave-
but immediately countered by Diane. Very nice Suzu. Trying to flip this point. Bacon and Cake does get headshotted.
Diane.
Diane ends up going down as well.
Now it's just down to Average Pillow.
So they were able to secure the point for a little bit. Trying to get as much charge as possible. Average Pillow trying to get killed. Very nice.
Get it.
And
It gets
ends up
the
getting
second
the second one. Very nice
Same with
performance
the
for
team.
Average Pillow.
Unfortunately, it's just a stagger, and the rest of the team does follow suit. ISU lagging a little bit behind, getting back to the point. All that heroism from Average Pillow, fortunately, wasn't enough to actually capture the point indefinitely. But a good.
They did provide a cool little 36% though.
That was clippable.
They should be able to recontest here pretty easily. Very nice wall for
Entry
Bacon.
denials.
Hey,
I love those. They're my favorite.
immediately taken down. Hermosa's Doomfist.
The contested zone does go back over to ISU, and now they just got to hold on to it. Eric
Looking
is
at
owned, which does give them a little bit of a stagger, meaning Texas probably will. Oh, Texas is coming in hot and heavy soon. Oh, Doomfist almost going down. Unfortunately, gets zipped out. Does manage to get Zaref does manage to take out Doomfist. Eric does manage to get a pick for his own as well as Minipon.
Holding the point very nicely. Might be able.
We're into overtime.
Very nice shot for Diane. Very nice pick. Trying to save Zara from getting sliced.
Looks like Eric was holding out on his ultimate just for this moment. And now, unfortunately,
Bacon and Cake does throw the ult on the point, trying to. Very nice shot, but is not enough to secure the point.
And they will be too far away to touch.
Overall, very, very good effort for the Bengals.
And that ties it up.
It does. They were able to get back onto that point, recapture, and end up getting it to 99. So it was a 99-99.
And yeah, just like we usually see, that first initial capture.
Yeah, it's very
a lot of put it in Texas of Dallas's court. I mean, which basically meant that Eric was able to have his ultimate ready when they needed it, and it just worked out for them. Looks like we'll pause for probably a little bit of a technical difficulty.
Told you they were cheating.
Oh, someone's mouse died. All right. Yeah, that's not fun. No one likes that. It seems like... Now, I just barely noticed right before we switched away that Kirschkin, who was their tank before, is now rocking the Ana. And it was him who had the mouse died, so...
Interesting.
Looks like they were able to resolve it not pretty quickly, and now we're back in game. Looks like everyone except for Eric has swapped roles. He has sticked with DPS, sticked with Genji. If it works for them, it works for them.
Kind of just goes to show what you were saying about him being a one-trick.
He's a one-trick. I didn't say it, but...
Hey, you know, no, you said it, I said it. Whole team swap, not him.
Yeah. What's really good for ISU is they are on point first, and they are looking pretty good. Oh, unfortunately, Average Pillow does put to sleep and put down in the process.
Zaref does end up getting a trade, though. Should be able to continue holding this point. Lemonade does end up getting ulted. Diane trying her best to stay alive, is able to get out. Not until she gets met with
Bacon and Cakes just
headshot.
holding on for a little longer. The manages go down, but they managed to get 68% on the board for ISU. Now, this next fight is going to be kind of an important one. Eric and Minipon both have their ultimates. Never mind, Minipon just used hers, almost getting, no, in fact getting Average Pillow down enough to kill him.
Comet's playing extremely aggressive.
Very aggressively.
Driving the Bengals all the way back into their spawn.
Yep.
I would imagine they probably hold here. Probably hold them. Very nice wall for Bacon and Cake. Trying to secure a kill. Does end up, unfortunately end up getting carried out.
Now I'm gonna have to interview Bacon and Cakes. Like, how do you see those? Like, how do you know when to trap them like that?
Trades for both teams coming out.
Let's see when ultimates come out. Unfortunately, ISU did lose 2. North Texas only lost 2 in the process.
I mean, they're trying to 1v1 the other. Ana does unfortunately go down. Probably good, though. They don't want to stagger for too long.
Now, they weren't able to touch, so that does put another point on the board for Texas of Dallas.
But ISU does end up getting to the point first before the Comets.
ISU is looking pretty good ultimate-wise. Minipon will have hers pretty soon, so we'll see.
Both
This may
teams.
be a pretty well-matched next fight.
I'd imagine this will be everybody's favorite fight.
Texas of Dallas do have 4 ultimates. Kiriko Rush does come out almost immediately. Same with Bacon and Cake's ultimate. Or
There
Xerath
end up going down. Lemonade trying her best to stay alive, along with applying pressure. Very nice pick for Xerath's Torbjorn.
managing
turret.
to take out that tank is going to be huge for ISU. Does put the
It was just Bacon and Cake left, trying to defending the point. Not able to get it, but we do capture it for, I would say, maybe 22%.
22%. Now, a ton of ultimates were used to secure that for Texas of Dallas. Eric was pretty frugal and keeping his still readily available for the next fight, and that might work for their favor. And he does bring it out right now. Interesting move.
Does end up getting a pick on Xerath.
He will secure 3 kills for himself. And Doi and Minipon also will grab kills.
So the Bengals are going to have to try to break this defense that the Comets put up really far from the point. Trying to catch the supports off on their own. Very nice tracking for Lemonade, able to secure a kill on the support. Trying to speed to the point. This is more than likely last fight territory for this game.
Absolutely. And it is open. They will touch. Just a lone Torbjorn to be able to defend it. See if ISU can take him out quickly and effectively.
But they do disengage. Smart on the Comet side.
Oh, was that Torbjorn? That wasn't Torbjorn. That was Doomfist.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Average Pillow overextending just a little bit.
That's really unfortunate because that takes away his ultimate. from
Both
the
tanks are
explosion.
down.
And now it's just Bacon and Cakes left.
Completely whiffed all by
The rest of the team does come to help.
Bacon and Cake able to secure a kill on Eric.
Okay, now all that Texas of Dallas really have is a nano boost to work with. Let's see if they are able to use it.
And they do end up using it. And Diane does unfortunately go down. That is a scary sight to see, as it may.
Bacon and Cakes just trying to
Should be able to get it frozen.
give seconds.
Should be able to get, does end up getting carried.
And we're speechless right now as we're waiting for the outcome of this last overtime team fight.
Pillow does end up going down along with Xerath. Believe it's just Bacon and Cake.
Puts down the wall, but gets taken out in the process. And who is left to touch?
Nobody, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that last point does go over to Texas of Dallas, winning them the map and winning them the game. But that was a really fun game to watch.
We got really lucky because we got to see the perks in action.
Yeah, I didn't really notice the ones played in this map. Definitely in Kings Row.
Yeah, they're a bit more of a study, subtle. Excuse me, a subtle change in the game.
Right. And that is the game. That is week 4 concluded. Next week we will be. I'm asking the director who we're playing next week, but we should be able to look forward to tomorrow. Will be Valorant. So catch us that time at 6:30, I believe. And yeah. Next week, we will be playing LU. Lindenwood University. I don't know where that is.
Well, they're about to find out where we are.
We're going to find out. We're going to get well acquainted next week.
Yes.
So we'll see you guys next time. I'm Dirk.
I'm Noah.
Peace out.